Figure it out.
Hello, this is Adam Koralik with Figure It Out Productions. The following video is part of our Quick Shoot series.
Hey guys, so some of you might know, just recently I went up to Canada. I went up there for New Year's, and I went up there and also I checked out a great store called Toy Rat, which I've plugged them quite a bit, and I'll plug them again because I love that store. Go check out Toy Rat. Check out my video about it too. But while I was up there, in addition to going up there for New Year's with my girlfriend and everything, I also went up and while I was there I got this. This is the Wii Mini. This is exclusive to Canada. And the story behind that is, my understanding is Nintendo of Japan designed this thing. And they intended it for a wide release as a cheap budget version of the Wii. Not uncommon. A lot of times systems will get, smaller versions. Think, your PS3 Slim, your Xbox 360 Slim, PS2 Slim, SNES Junior, NES Junior, or Top Loader, whatever you want to call it. It's very often, Jesus, the Genesis, they did it Model 1, Model 2, Model 3. There's a lot of variations of systems. So it was not surprising that Nintendo decided they wanted to do this with the Wii, because that's a very popular system financially. And so they said, okay, we want to do that. And I like the design of it. It looks a lot like a Famicom, which is pretty cool. But my understanding is that the Japanese then rejected it. They decided not to release it. And if you actually look at the box, you'll see this is not your standard Canadian box. Generally when something's Canadian, it's got English and French all over it. And this doesn't. It has English, French, and Spanish. In fact, it even says, this is by Nintendo of America, not Nintendo of Canada, and it says, well, the P.O. Box is based in Redmond, Washington, which is in the United States. My understanding is that the United States, Nintendo of America, built the units, and then kind of looked at the unit and decided they didn't really want to distribute it, because they didn't want it competing with the newly released Wii U. And so they went, okay, well, what do we do with all these units we made? And I think, and I'm speculating, but I think they decided to just put them out in Canada, because they didn't make a whole lot of them. And Canada is obviously a smaller market as opposed to the United States or Japan or Europe. And, to Canadians watching, you guys do have the internet, but your internet access is pretty crappy compared to a lot of the world, and, the United States, especially. And so this device is not internet ready, and I think that's one of the biggest mistakes, is that the original Wii, while I give it a lot of crap, you guys might have noticed, it is internet capable, both Wi-Fi and you can use broadband if you have an adapter via USB for the back here. And this is not capable of that at all. Actually, it's also not capable of playing GameCube games. They removed the controller ports and the memory card slot, although that's not surprising. There is a second, most people don't even realize this, there is another version of the Wii in between these two, looks much more like this one, that cannot play GameCube games, and that was to save money. And that's what this is. This thing was designed to save money for Nintendo, which is why it's so cheap. It has no internet capability, can't play GameCube games. It isn't even capable of using component cables. This is, if you have a normal Wii, this is what you want to hook up your Wii with, because this is how you get better video quality out of it. You get 480p signal, much cleaner picture, as opposed to your standard composite cables. They designed this thing to not even be capable of using those cables, which is ridiculous. And I haven't personally tested it, but I've read that it's not capable of using SCART, RGB, which to Europeans, Australians, you guys know that format. We didn't get that over here. They didn't get that in Canada either. And it's not even capable of S-video. This thing came out in December of 2012. It's not capable of S-video? That's pathetic. I mean, this thing comes with composite cables, and that's apparently all it can use. And that's just monstrously bad. So my guess is that Nintendo, they just wanted to make a budget system. And then they looked at it and went, that is a piece of crap. And then they decided they didn't want to release it. And they thought, what do we do with these units? We're stuck with them. No, put them up in Canada. People make it exclusive. Some dumbass from Chicago will come and buy one. I did. And you know, the Canadians don't care too much about internet access, and Nintendo's been getting away with, for years, with giving us all really bad video quality when they don't have to. But enough of that. Anyway, enough of my ramblings and rantings on this system. I've done it horrible injustice. We're going to go ahead and unbox it. Fortunately for me, I was up in Canada during Boxing Week. To my fellow Americans, I didn't know what Boxing Week was. I think that's a really well-kept secret to all you guys, all you Canadians. Good job. That's the equivalent of like Black Friday for them, but it goes on for like an entire week. And so, in addition, this was $99 Canadian, which is basically $99 US. They also threw in a copy of Just Dance 3 for free when you purchase it, which was, I mean, it's not a game I want, but I'll take a free game. Although it was funny, because I only found out about that on their website, Best Buy on their website, because when I went into the store, they had no idea what I was talking about. And that's further evidence that even the guys in the video game department didn't know it was supposed to come with that game. And I think it's not selling well at all. In fact, I've been told that they've already ceased production on this, and it's the one shipment that came out is all it's ever going to be. So this will either be a really rare collectible item one day, or they'll get a wider release at some point, and this will have been totally pointless and worthless. But all the same, we're going to go ahead and do an unboxing, and I realize this took forever to get to. I apologize for that. Yeah, let's just go ahead and get started. There is no tape on this. Okay, I did not alter this in any way. There is no tape holding this together. There's just a little slip right here. And you open it up, and I did this much already in advance because there's no tape. There is enough space here to comfortably hold a game, which is further, like, see this? Look, it closes perfectly with one game in there, which is further evidence to me that Nintendo was going to try and package this with something, and they tried to save money even more. I mean, the box is designed to hold a game, and they didn't include one, which is pretty crappy to me, to be perfectly honest. And if you're going to give away a free game, Best Buy, could you not give us Just Dance 3? Can you get something real? But anyway, so we move on here. Open up the sides like this. Well, first I'll take out the little manual here, which is just going to tell me, oh, this is a piece of crap. Watch out, you just bought a Wii Mini. Open up the sides there. And inside, hopefully you guys can see that, inside you get a power supply. This is the exact same power supply as the original Wii used, as this one uses, so they're interchangeable. And then you get the system, which we'll go look at in a minute, because that's the most exciting part. Beyond that, we look inside, right there. And this is actually kind of cool. They give you a red nunchuck, and I don't know if Wii's come with nunchucks now. I know when mine came out, the launch one, it did not come with a nunchuck at the time. And it includes a Wiimote, and they actually gave me batteries. I figured they'd cheap out on that. And of course, here are the utterly worthless composite cables, which, actually I take that back. On this system, they are really important. So let me just move the box out of the way here. So yeah, we get our red nunchuck here, which is kind of nice. And I don't know if there was another version that was red, but that's pretty cool. And this is probably the best part, the actual Wiimote. First of all, they gave it that little Wii condom case thing that they package it in now. And this is the Wii Motion Plus controller, which is cool because my Wii, when I bought it, they didn't have Wii Motion Plus. Eventually they made those like adapters you had to attach, and that's what I had. I actually don't have, until now, a traditional, or a Wii Motion Plus Wiimote that doesn't have a stupid little add-on. So this will actually be, for like the 6 times I ever play my Wii again, will be the Wiimote of choice. And now, onto the main event here, the system, which is very cheaply wrapped. And we take it out like this. And I like the design. I actually think it's a particularly attractive looking unit. It's based on the Famicom, I think, which would explain it, why the Japanese designed it and then they decided they didn't want it. It feels very plasticky. I don't have a Famicom to compare it to, but I do have a Famicom disk system. This I got up at Toy Rat. So that's pretty cool. I came back from Canada with both of these. Now it's you can see kind of what I'm talking about. Again, this is not a Famicom. This is the Famicom disk system, but you kind of see what I'm saying. Like, it's got the color scheme going on and whatever. So, yeah, on the front, you have nothing, which is kind of strange to me. There's nothing there. You got your power button right here, which is just a little clicky button. And then you have, I kind of like the idea that they didn't do a slide load. They actually did a top-loading system, which, when was the last, I think the GameCube was the last top-loading system, so it's kind of cool to see that make a little comeback. Yeah, in the back you got your power, your unfortunately composite-only AV port, your sensor bar, which I didn't even find the sensor bar. That must still be in the box somewhere. Alright, we feel it. My bad. Sensor bar. I'm glad they didn't cheap out on that one too. One USB port, and there's the fan. Now, the USB port's interesting because I'm not really sure what it's supposed to do, because they disabled the ability to use the broadband adapter that connects there via this, so I don't know what it does. They also removed the SD card slot, so you can't save games that way. In fact, I don't even know, like, how would you get your save games off of this? You know, whatever profiles you have or you create, you can't get them off here. Unless there's some way to get them through the USB port, and I'm betting they're not. I'm surprised they didn't remove that too, to be perfectly honest with you. But yeah, on the side there's a little screw for something, I don't know, and then a button that says sync, which is obviously to sync it to the Wiimote. So yeah, that's the Wii Mini, Canadian exclusive, at least for now, and probably forever, because I can't imagine this is going to get a wider release. Because when I was up there, nobody was buying these things. And the guys at stores didn't even know, one, that they were exclusive, and two, that they were even supposed to come with a game or anything, so I don't think they're going to be lasting very long. But if you're into collectibles, which is really the only reason I got it, go ahead and get yourself one if you're in Canada or you're Canadian, because you're probably not going to see this anywhere else in the world. And yeah, don't even bother trying to buy it online. I tried. You know, like Amazon, Best Buy, they would not ship it outside of Canada, so you have to actually go there, unless you want to pay more to buy it on eBay for like $150. But with all of its lame features, I wouldn't really recommend it. This is strictly, to me, just a showpiece. I just put it on a shelf and it looks nice. But it is cool to have, and I will actually get some use out of this Wiimote, probably. So that's the three of them compared next to each other. If you want to see the size difference here, wow, that's really cheap. You have to actually push down to really make that click back into place. This is about the, well, I'll do it this way so you guys can see it better. From the back of the system, this is all the space you've got. It's about maybe an inch. I'll lift it up so you guys can see the height. For a Mini, that's not too much smaller. Left to right, let's see here. Well, really, that's essentially identical. That's not any smaller. And then compared to the Wii U, it is significantly smaller. The Wii U is about an inch taller and is that much longer, but that would be expected. Yeah, so I don't know. Like I said, it's just a showpiece. It's just nice to have one. It's kind of cool looking, but I mean that's really all it is. I'm never going to use this thing. It feels very cheap. It feels very, very plasticky. I don't think it's going to break on me or anything, but that's it. I don't know. That's just kind of my review of this thing in short. Maybe one day I'll give it like a proper review. Alright, so I've got it all hooked up there. Granted, it's not in the prettiest position. It's just aimed there at my TV. I realized I could have captured this footage, but I figured you'd want to see the unit in action, not the Wii BIOS. When I set this thing up, it was kind of interesting. It wanted me to set the clock, as you can see there. The default was January 1st, 2010, which is just confusing. Usually the factory date is like when it was made, not 2 random years before it came out, but whatever. So yeah, if you check your settings and stuff, it's been modified so that it does not have any options to increase video quality, and the internet stuff is completely gone, which is really annoying. It lets you select any country, including, of course, the US, where I am, so that's good. It lets you select English, Spanish, or French. It's got the stupid-ass parent controls thing, like no one should ever have to use. Stereo, well, I guess they have surround in there, good for them. You can nickname it. These are all features, I guess, of the Wii that I don't really know. This is something that's kind of stupid, because you can like never firmware upgrade it or anything. You can make a Mii, but no one in the world can see it except you.
It's got a pointless ass manual. None of the channels. Why even have extra channels? Why? You can't download anything. And of course, it doesn't play anything but Wii games. Of course, it's unable to read the disc. There isn't one in there. So I'm going to go ahead real quick and pop in a game. And I'm just going to pop in New Super Mario Brothers Wii. Sorry, I should have done that ahead of time. But anyway, go ahead down here. It's got a blue light when it's on, which is kind of nice. It's red when the thing's off. And laser just moved it back. Pop in. I do like that it's a top loader like this. I do think that's kind of cool, actually. Close it. And it starts spinning up there, which would be expected. Now I gotta find the stupid Wiimote. Sorry. Alright. And it's a quiet system, relatively. I mean, you can hear it, but it's not too bad. It took a long time to load that, though. Yeah, I'll start the game with no real intention of playing it. So, as you can see, it does work. It does play your games. It's just a system, a version of the Wii that completely relies on the actual Wii game library is destined to failure.